Good. So a lot of you know we've been thinking and researching the last probably 6 months about the feature on the front door of the build. I wanted to do something standoutish, but at the same time not too standoutish, so subtle. So like they say, less is more. So keeping in contrast with the build of what we're doing, I've come down to Manor Reclaim in Benfleet, and we've been looking around shopping. This is the 4th reclaim yard I've come down to find bits, and I think I found a little gem. Check these out. Victorian roped edgings. Okay. Now commonly used as a path edging, or obviously sometimes in brickwork, and you can see. Now, we've only got a limited supply. Okay, I think there's probably 15 in total. Eventually, first of all, what I was thinking was a roped border coming right the way up, and then me detail in between. But now, because we haven't got enough, I'll have to come up with some detail, perhaps intertwine these every so often around to see how she gets on, how she looks. More of the story is, these are too good to let go. You know, I've just done a deal with a geezer, 25 quid. Fucking 25 quid. Stones have been around for over 100 years. Do you know what I mean? So, if I don't use them in the door, then I most certainly use them in my fireplace. Is there any others, Sam, in there? Can you see any others? We definitely got them all. There's none hiding anywhere. Good morning, here we are. Lovely fresh day. I love this time of year for bricklaying, when it's really fresh in the morning, but the current runs out a little bit, you know, and it's really fresh. Right, here we go. We've been talking about, if you follow me on Instagram, at The Traditional Bricklayer, we've been talking about on my self-build, what should we do with this bit, okay? So, the main entrance, I wanted to do a feature, a Victorian feature. So, we went for what you call dragon scale, or your dog tooth up, whatever you want to call it, depends what part of the build you're from. Okay, you can see how I've bolted it. Now, it matches in with below, as you can see here. You can't see because of scaffolding, but I've got me dental work, stretcher, and the plinth. So on the side, I've got the same stretcher, then the dental work, the dog tooth goes up, bouldering with the header going right the way up. Now, the thinking work I had on this was, do I put an arch in, or do I do it at 90? So I've left it about a week and a half, and prior to that, weeks and weeks of just planning and thinking about what I'm gonna do, because it has to be in keeping with the house. Now, an arch would look fantastic on there, you know, and I really want to do the arch, but then I had to really think about, do I need to feed my ego or the house? Okay, and that's the important part. Because I've done a poll on Instagram, and everyone was saying arch, arch, which is really good to see, because people were so enthusiastic about their bricklaying. They want to do a masterpiece, which we all want to do. It's nice, but at the end of the day, I've got to think about what's in keeping with the house. Now, I'm going to show you this as quickly. Now, the full process on this is the build here. Can you see? Right, now look at the sharp lines. Yeah. Now, the raking cut goes externally, okay? It's sharp lines with the apex of the steel, it's all window. So I think an arch in there would have looked a little bit out of place with all the symmetrical lines in. So I'm going to keep the lines sharp on the build. So I've decided to go 90, okay? Now, is it something in 2 years' time I'm going to be sitting around having me a cup of tea and thinking, oh, I wish I arched it? Or if I arch it in 2 years' time, did I 90 it? It's one of those things you have to live with as a bricklayer. But either way, I think it's going to look special. Now, what's amazing here is this standard brick, this stock, you know, how we have the capacity, the knowledge to make this look fantastic. We can turn this brick, by turning it round, cutting shapes, cutting angles, into something standoutish. Now, go back to Victorian times, okay? A lot of detail on your brickwork was a sign of simply just showing off, you know, power. When you go up London, you see the big buildings, big stonework, all brickwork features. It was a sign of intimidation, you know, and I wanted to keep with the upkeeping of that. So, not showing off, but a gesture in the brickwork. I just didn't want to throw it at, like a new build up. It has to be in keeping with what's going on with the surrounding. Now, in a moment, I'm going to show you the same dental work I've done in the dog tooth, I've done on my stack. So when you walk around the build, it's symmetrical. The design all fits in and carries in with each other. It fits hand in hand. Now, the enjoyment I have in bricklaying and the love, this build has really, really brought the love out of me, okay, in this, and I've really enjoyed every moment so far. And in one of my next videos, I'm going to show you around all the different details and walk you around, but that'll be in another video. But the passion and the want to do well and a good job, and the respect for the reclaims I've got, the old stocks, understanding where they come from and what they're doing now and going into the build. Now, tell you a little bit of brief history about this plot, okay? This is on Greenbelt, okay? Now, what happened was we took a massive chance. This was first listed in 1883, okay? And there was a little dwelling on here. Now, Greenbelt law come in 1947 from 1946. So when we approached the planning, they had to warrant the build because it was already building here before the Greenbelt laws come in. Now, we had a little bit of battle with the planning. Now, obviously the planning just want the best of the area. But my question was, I want to bring this build back to life. I want to live in it with my family and put it with the inkeeping of the surroundings, because all around me is nothing but farm fields. So my driveway is about 75 meters long. We created a through road and we just bend round and we're right in the middle of nowhere, and it's absolutely beautiful here. So something that I've visioned from a youngster, laying bricks, working towards that goal. Now, I'm going to show you the original paperwork, the deeds. If you look at this, look at the old English. It's crazy. And if we go through here, I'll show you. It gives pass of all the owners who took over. (1924), 5th of January. So look at this, look. 5th clause of his will dated 11th of July 1887 gave the devise to his doer, the SED, for us all that is hers and progress. So it's even abbreviated in Old English, and I've really trying to translate it. It's just fascinating. I love it. Going back in history and reading these deeds, you know, and it talks about the past owners signed over on a will and stuff like that. I mean, look at this one. 1893, March the 28th. By injury made both W.J. Smith of one part and John James Tipped of number 4 Castle Street, Finsbury, in Coy of London, Central, whatever that is. Old, it's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant reading. So, this is the plot of land. Look at that. 12th of February 1896. This is the plot here. So it's absolutely fascinating. I'm like a bit of a geek when it comes to things like this, you know, but it's passion and enthusiasm, you know, so enthusiastic about what I'm doing and how it goes. So if you look at the build, let me just put this on. Right. If you see the build, we went almost like a refurb barn, but we wanted to see the extension. So we've sort of done the new artistic design there, the modern feature, the sharp lines. But if you take that away, it looks quite aged, okay? And that was the whole point of it. Going through, sourcing the bricks, sourcing the material. In the gauge, we obviously bucket gauge, every gauge I bucket gauge anyway, but we do part sharp sand. Now the sharp comes in and it brings the aggregate right out in the joints. That looks really stony. So when you look at it, it looks like it was built a long time ago. Everything's pointed with a bit of timber, okay, to show the contours of the bricks. And that's where we're going with it. So I just want to show you quickly inside. If you can see here, that's where the apex steel is. This here is all vaulted. Okay, so I've got massive living space inside, and something that I wanted to encourage family living. Okay, so we went small with the bedrooms to increase the living space. So everyone's gonna be in living, busy, me, my boys, you know, and my family or whatever. So it's gonna look really, really nice. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna set the phone up. I've pre-recorded some of my stuff doing this, just a little bit. And I'm gonna set my phone up, you can just watch me build and just do what I do. And like and comment in below what good traditional build you've worked on, or what project that you've done and you've really enjoyed, and about what you like in the traditional side of things. So let's have a cup of hot chocolate. Let's get a few bricks down, son. Good, so I've brought you around to my stack, and you can see how I've done the same detail on the stack. So symmetrically, it's gonna, as you walk around the build, it's all in keeping. Okay, there's no stone unturned. Now, look at me, me placard done, me air brick. Beautiful. Where it's first, it's 1883. Now this stack is gonna step again, okay, and these will go up. The dental work will go up and step in with the angle, and then it will go again. Okay, so when you're looking at it, it will go up, step, and everything will be symmetrical as we go up. And then when I get to the top of the stack, we'll bring the dental work in and around. Now, just a quick tip, architecturally, the architect designs stuff, okay? Now, when you want an amendment done, you contact the architect, and he puts it forward and designs it, and then puts it forward to the planning, and they approve it. So an amendment from the drawing could be a window opening size or the detail that I'm doing. Now, a quick tip, do the amendment yourself, because when you hit the architect, he charges you for drawing it up, then he charges you for putting it into planning. So with your knowledge that you've learned, your education, do the drawing yourself, submit it yourself, and save probably 300-400 quid. Right, so I've brought you up here with me. You know what? Full credit to all the traditional bricklayers. You know, the skill level involved in this detail is ridiculous. And not only then the bricklayers would go home physically tired, I'm sure they went home mentally tired, you know, because the work involved in this, the skill level's so high. The cutting, the working out, the prep work. If the prep work doesn't work out, how do you get over it? How do you adapt? So I'm going to give you a little closer look. Now, what I wanted to do, this had to be organised so she sat dead centre. So I worked the perp out so she's dead centre of the perp. You see, might give you a little twist here. She's cutting me out, and bloody hell, Dino. Right, now the dog tooth cut underneath, coming up, and then we'll cut right in there. Everything I've done by trowel. I've not used no cutters, as you've been seeing. Okay, so yeah, the incredible, the detail. Now what we've done was these roping copings, or roping bricks, whatever you call them, I gauged them out and I had me cut down that end. So I worked it out symmetrically so we would end up centre of point. So looking at it, it's all symmetrical and bang on. Oh, let's have a cup of tea. Where do you go? The old sheepdog. then there's Gypsy. Very tedious this, time consuming. So always allow yourself time at the end of the day to go through. Give her a good, don't get caught out with the light or the weather. She's overcoming at the minute. And I might just get this done and cleaned up before heavens open up. God's looking up at me. Looking down at me, should I say, looking up at me. Give this a big clean up with a small tool. Get the surplus off. How's everyone anyway? Hope you're all well. How's everyone diddling? Talk to me like lovers do, bit of rhythmics. Talk to me like lovers do. Right, I'm going to switch you off for a minute because no doubt you're boring watching me point up, and I'll get you back on in a minute when I'm having a little brush up. First of all, and look at these joints, look, before you go. Just going to rub it round with a bit of wood, and then with wire brush that off after. Oop. Right, bear with me because I've got a little dust on me. Scrub up a little bit out tonight. Bear with me because the boys have popped out, so I'm just going to give that a first brush. What I like to do, get in there and get all these crannies going. Give her a little rough brushing. Good, so she's got in quite nice. What do you think? She's all right. Right, something I want to tell you. See the little tulip in the centrepiece I put in? Look at this, come here. That come from a ridge, based on top here, from the reclaim yard. You know, so what I've done was just zipped it off and put it in. Just something different, do you know what I mean? Imagination. I'll probably use this, I might get me grind and scribe round, you know, both sides, and might be able to put that in the wall somewhere in future, or a bit of landscaping work I'll do. So, always let your eye be your guide. Good, so she's done. Now all I've got to do, can you see them with all the stretchers? I'm going to put a false joint in, every other, to make it look bond, and she's done, you know. What do I think? I think she's come out all right, something different. I've never seen one like this before, and I'm really pleased. You know, once the frame goes inside, she's really going to stand out, really going to be proportionate into what I wanted to do at the beginning of the video I was telling you about. So I'm really pleased. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you, this is the truth behind the matter. 1:30 last night, I was still awake. I was a little bit nervous about doing the work again today. you know. But that's because I'm quite passionate and enthusiastic about what I do. Okay, so it's not out of the norm if you're doing a bit of work like this and you get a little bit nervous, because it is hard technical work, you know. Like I said, the skill levels are so high because it's all trowel work, level work. But yeah, so listen, I'm going to be uploading a few different videos of myself, but I'm not going to do a whole take of it, because some things are just left best between me and God, okay, and my family. So I'll put little bits up, and I'm going to tell you another tip now. Not a tip, why I've done it. At the beginning of the video, you'll see me doing the start off, the reveals, okay. I used no profiles, I used all trowel and level work. Now the reason I've done that is because I really want to test myself. So in 2 years time, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I want to look at it and think, bloody, that was hard work. Let me tell you, extremely hard work, okay? Because normally I put a profile going across horizontally, drop 2 lines, plumb the lines up, and we lay to the lines, but I didn't do that. So on here, I had 4 leveling points and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 plumbing points each course. At the end of the day, I'm not going to lie to you, I was sando. 4 or 5 o'clock, I was sando. I was so mentally drained. But that's what I wanted to do, and be honest, I'm glad it's done, you know. And I will look back in years to come and be like very appreciative of what I've done. Now, like I said, I'm going to upload a few more videos. Some of them, guys, are just not for just tips or anything, it's just me working. The reason I want to upload them is because I don't ever want to forget how hard I've bloody worked on here, you know, because sometimes life passes us by very quickly and we don't appreciate where we've come from and what we've achieved. We're too busy chasing. So as you get older, I'm more relaxed, and I think it's a good thing for me to look at these videos and think, in years to come, I look back on my family can and be like, look at Dad working, that's what we've done. So the appreciation of the build. Guys, listen, thank you all so much for all the subscribers, all the comments and likes. Hit me below. I tip me out to you all, every China world. God bless.